All right, it has been about 3 days since we have been using the gravity water filter, the sort of knockoff Berkey water filter. I have two different types of test strips that I'm going to use, and I'm going to compare the filtered water with my sink water. If you get this filter, I do suggest either cleaning it really, really good or just running a few cycles through it, because the first few gallons that we took out of it was super cloudy. But once we ran it through a little bit, it came out clear and it was fine. All right, so the first test strip is just drinking water 16-in-1 test strips. It tests for nitrate, nitrite, hardness, free chlorine, total chlorine, bromine, MPS, copper, iron, lead, nickel, sulfite, cyanuric acid. I always just call that CYA. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. Carbonate, alkalinity, and pH. The second test, which is the Teal BiPAC drinking water test strips, it's also a 16-in-1, but it also includes fluoride. So carbonate, root, fluoride, mercury, copper, lead, chromium, iron, nitrite, nitrate, free bromine, free chlorine, total chlorine, CYA, hardness, pH, and alkalinity. All right, so this is my sink water and this is my filtered water. They're both in clean glasses so that they're not clean glasses that were cleaned at the same time. And my hands are dry and clean. So this one is you immerse it for 2 seconds. I'm actually going to dip both of them at the exact same time. No, I'm not. Changed my mind. All right. Okay. Sink and filtered water. So let me check these. It actually doesn't look like it's far off. These do have a scale on the back. All right, so flip these upside down so I can read them. All right, nitrate, nitrite, and hardness are the exact same, which the nitrate and nitrite were 0, and hardness was also, hardness is about 50 parts per million, total hardness. Free chlorine in my sink water is about 1 part per million, whereas in the filtered water it's 0. Total chlorine, 3 parts per million in the filtered water is 0. So it's definitely doing its job there. Bromine in my sink water is about between 2 and 6 parts per million, and in the filtered water it's 0. MPS is 0 on both. Copper looks like it is maybe about half a part per million out of my sink and 0 out of the filtered water. Iron is 0 on both. Lead is 0 on both. Nickel is 0 on both. Sulfite 0. CYA 0. Carbonate is high on both. It looks like carbonate is about between 180 and 240 parts per million in both. I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't know what that means. Alkalinity and pH is the same. So my alkalinity is about 180 to 240, and pH is between 8.2 and 9, both on both sides. All right, so now I'm gonna check. I'm gonna dry my fingers off and I'm gonna check the other test, which also has fluoride in it. That was one of the things we definitely wanted to be able to check for. Now, I don't have a big complaint about my town water. This was already open. This just came in the middle of the day and it was already open. I don't like that. Anyway, so I don't have a big complaint about the taste of my local water. But we tend to have a lot of boil water advisories, so I don't like that. All right, so here are the test strips. All right, I'm gonna lay them flat so that the dyes don't get to each one. Okay, it looks like it's almost the same on all of them. All right, so alkalinity is reading at, and this doesn't measure at parts per million, it's milligrams per liter through this test. So it looks like alkalinity is 40 milligrams per liter. pH between 7.8 and 8.4, which I knew my pH was pretty high. Hardness, high, 50. It looks like between 25 and 50 milligrams per liter. CYA actually looks like it's 0 on both tests. Total chlorine, about 0.5 on my sink water and 0 on the filtered water. Free chlorine and bromine are showing up pretty low on my sink water with this test. Free chlorine, about 0.5 to 1 milligrams per liter, and it's 0 on the filtered. Free bromine, the same. It's about 1 on my sink water and 0 through the filtered water. Nitrite, nitrate, and iron are 0 through all of them. Carbonate root looks like 0. Fluoride is actually 0. So it looks like we don't have fluoride in our drinking water, according to this test at least. Mercury, 0 through both, which is good. Copper, 0 with both tests, and lead is 0 through both tests. Chromium looks like it is not quite 0. There is a slight color on there, but it's also not quite 2 milligrams per liter. So it's probably maybe, if you're judging by the color, it's like a very, very pale pinkish. So I would say it's under 1 milligram per liter on the chromium. And then, like I said, iron, nitrate, nitrite is all 0. So it's definitely filtering some stuff out, and it's not adding anything in, thankfully. So that's good. Probably should compare the different tests, because I'm not quite sure how accurate these tests are. They did have good reviews. But now I'm going to taste it. Like I said, I've never had an issue with the flavor of our water, but we do have a lot of boil water advisories. So I wanted to get this a filtration system just in case. So this is my sink water, and I've always liked it. Really no flavor. Tastes fine. And then this is the filtered water. There's a flavor. There's definitely a flavor. I don't like it. I can drink it if I needed to, but I don't like it. So, it's almost like a burnt flavor, but I will say I'm a water snob when it comes to like bottled water. I don't like the flavor of purified water, and there are certain store brand spring water that I don't like the flavor of that either. I don't like the flavor of distilled water. So I'm probably not the best to test the flavor of a filtered water, since I'm kind of a water snob. So I probably won't be drinking this water unless I absolutely needed to. But I'm still going to keep the filtration system, because it's filtering out the chlorine and a few other things for sure. Maybe I need to just get used to it. It probably would be better for me if I just got used to the flavor of it. So anyway, as long as you need to be able to filter stuff out, I would recommend this system. But I wish there was something you could do about the flavor, because I'm not too fond of that. Now, when we first set it up and we were getting like the cloudy water out of it, I actually did taste it through that, and it tasted fine. Like there wasn't a flavor. So I don't know if this flavor is just coming from the initial few runs of it. So I'm going to taste it again. I'll taste it again. I'll keep using it. I'm actually just going to go water my plants with this, because I don't think I'm going to be able to drink it or give it to my dogs or something. But so yeah, that is my review of that.